In the late 1930s, Evelyn Underhill gave 4 broadcast talks in which she described the spiritual life to a secular world. The spiritual life is a dangerously ambiguous term. Indeed, it would be interesting to know what meaning any one reader at the present moment is giving to these 3 words. Many, I am afraid, would really be found to mean the life of my own inside, and a further section to mean something very wholly difficult and peculiar, a sort of honours course in personal spirituality to which they did not intend to aspire. Both these kinds of individualist, the people who think of the spiritual life as something which is for themselves and about themselves, and the people who regard it as something which is not for themselves, seem to need a larger horizon within which these interesting personal facts can be placed and seen in rather truer proportion. Any spiritual view which focuses attention on ourselves and puts the human creature with its small ideas and adventures in the centre foreground is dangerous until we recognise its absurdity. So, at least, we will try to get away from these petty notions and make a determined effort to see our situation within that great spiritual landscape which is so much too great for our limited minds to grasp, and yet is our true inheritance, a present reality here and now, within which our real lives are now being lived. We will look at it through the wide-angle lens of disinterested worship and put aside those useful little spectacles which bring into sharp focus our own qualities, desires, interests and difficulties, but blur everything else. There it is, in its splendour and perfection, shining to saints in a perpetual bright clearness, as Thomas à Kempis said. Not only is the subject matter of religion, but also the cause and goal of everything in human life that points beyond the world. Great action, great music, great art, great poetry. Our attention to it or our neglect of it makes no difference to that world, but makes every difference to us. For our lives are not real, not complete, until they are based on a certain conscious correspondence with it, until they become that which they are meant to be, tools and channels of the will of God, and are included in the kingdom of spirits which we live in, to and for Him alone.